Okay, great. All right. So happy New Year. Great year, great new year, right? Don't you feel lighter, like you lost 30 pounds or maybe 50? I don't know, a lot. Yeah, it feels good. There is a word in Sanskrit, parinama, and it comes from the Yoga Sutras, and it is a word that means transformation and change. And there's no better time than right now to come to embrace the idea of transformation. The idea that we are accepting change, but also the idea that it's not going to ever be the same again. Things change. We have to leave behind what we no longer can use and start new. And that is a beautiful thing, because typically what comes from that is greater things come. And it's hard to let go of the things we were used to. Another thing in yoga, in parinama, when in that transformation, what's critically important is that we stay unattached from the past, from the things that we know, so that we can fully embrace change. But we also want to take with us lessons we've learned. Like the lesson that life is so precious. And at the same time, fragile. Perhaps we have found extra meaning in our lives. We have learned to become strong and resilient. And we are learning every day to let go of the past, to live in the present moment, because that's all we can be sure of, this moment in time. So with that, we're going to come into our practice. So we start with coming inside, centering ourselves, and following our breath. Just follow your breath. Release your hands to your thighs, your legs, and breathe. Just breathe. Come to your center. Deepen your breath. Take a deep, deep breath. Fill up your lungs with new air, with brand new year air. And let go of everything you no longer need. When you exhale, you are releasing toxins, and not just the physical ones, because your exhale is the part of your breath that triggers the parasympathetic nervous system that allows you to come to a place of rest and digest, relax, and repair. So take that deep breath in, new life, and let go of everything you no longer need. Let it go. Continue at your own pace. Come back to your natural breath and slowly open your eyes, taking in the light. Okay. So, welcome to our class, Eric. Eric has joined us today. He's new to yoga. So I just want to go over a couple of things about practicing yoga. We use our breath throughout the class to help us move. And this is an all levels class, and that generally means from level 1 to intermediate. Sometimes I throw in an advanced pose, but there's always options for everyone. There will be options, and I will call those out, and you do only what you are able to do without judging yourself. Just know that your body has limits, and you must respect those limits, right? Be loving and kind to your body, all right? It doesn't mean you can't push a little, all right? So we're going to begin in a child's pose. So I like to have a blanket for under my knees, so you can do the same if you wish. Not necessary, just if you have knee issues, it's a good thing. So in child's pose, our knees are either together or they're wide apart. When they're wide apart, our chest can come further to the mat, giving us a lot more room. If they're together, you can use your thighs as a shelf. Now, if it's your first child's pose, you may not come down very far, and that's okay. So your hips may not go all the way to your heels. Bring your forearms then on the mat and go as far as you can. This is a resting pose, a relaxing pose. And right now, you're going to stretch your arms on the mat overhead for an extended child's pose. You're going to lift your hips and send your heart forward, extending your legs, lengthening them back behind you, your heart between your arms. You're going to use your abdominal muscles to keep your middle body from sagging. You're going to push into the mat to keep your shoulders from shrugging. Inhale, exhale, send your hips back to your heels. Inhale, come forward, coming back between your arms. Exhale, send your hips to your heels. Inhale, you're going to come up and stop in the middle, coming into table pose, Barasana. And in this pose, you want your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. You want to rotate your arms so that the crease of your elbow is reaching for your index finger. And once you have your alignment, we're going to start with cats and dogs. And in a dog spine, you curl your spine all the way towards the mat. Your heart wants to come forward. It can't go too far. On an exhale, you're going to arch your spine all the way up to the sky. Inhale to dog. Exhale, cat. Inhale to dog. Feel your shoulder blades coming together as if they wanted to kiss. Feel your heart trying to move forward. Feel your tailbone reaching upward. On your exhale, in your cat spine, feel your shoulder blades spreading apart. Your vertebra lined up in formation like a flock of birds. And continue at your own pace. The slower, the better. With every pose, we want to feel what's happening to our body. We just want to feel. We don't just do the pose, we want to feel it. And next time you're in your cat spine, arching up to the ceiling, send your hips to your heels and rest for just a couple of breaths. Your arms are reaching out overhead. Walk them maybe a little bit farther forward. Lift your hips. Come back to where we were before, your heart between your arms, your legs long behind you. You're going to send your hips to the left, then back behind you. You can come as far back as you like, all the way to your heels, or just a little bit. You're making circles with your hips. Yeah, if you hear any noise in your joints, that's okay. No pain, just no pain. Come forward and go the other way. Come forward. Send your hips to your heels. Slide your hands back to your knees as you come up to stand on your knees. If you have a block, you can use this to help you in this pose and what we're going to do. So I like to use it for stability. If you don't have one, you can just bring your hand to the mat to step your right foot forward. Take your time. You might need 1 or 2 steps to get there. That's okay. You want your knees directly over your middle toes. You're standing over your left knee. Right leg is in front of you. Inhale and then exhale, slide your hips forward. So you're stretching your left quads here. All right. And then when you come back up over your supporting leg, you're going to straighten your right leg to say good morning to your hamstrings. So bring the heels of your hands to your back waist, your fingers pointing down, same directions as your sit bones. And this is to help you keep your back long and straight. Inhale, exhale, slide forward. Inhale, come back up, straighten your leg. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, and this time you don't have to go all the way forward. Bring your hands inside your legs to help you bring your right leg forward, or just swing it back. All right. So we're going to do the left. Yeah. Okay. Left leg goes forward. And get there however you can. Take your time. Bring the heels of your hands to your back waist. Walk your left foot away. Inhale, exhale, slide your hips forward. Feel the stretch in your right quadriceps, your front thigh muscles. Inhale, back up, straighten your leg. Inhale, exhale, slide. Inhale, straighten your leg. Exhale, come forward. Straighten. slide. Go slower than I'm going if you wish to. You don't have to do as many of these. So then come to a straight spine over your knee and bring your left leg back. All right, good. So you're going to come down to sit, come back down onto your hips. And let your legs stretch out in front of you. So you're sitting, you're on your sits bones. Your hands are alongside your hips, fingers pointing forward, toes to the ceiling so your feet are flexed. All of your leg muscles are engaged. Bring your belly towards your spine, engaging your abdominal muscles to help lift you a little higher. Maybe you can press into the mat to lift your crown of your head to the sky. So this is Tadasana, the staff pose. Inhale, gather all this energy around you. Exhale, bring it to your heart. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, straighten your legs. Inhale, bend and flex. Exhale, point and straighten. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. All right, and release. So bring your heels to the end of your mat, to the front of your mat, because we're going to come down on our back now. Send your arms straight out in front of you, your palms together. Inhale, and then on an exhale, begin your journey. You're going to come down as slowly as you can. Some of you might wait until you get to the number 20 to get your head to the mat. And to do that, you'll need to engage your abdominal muscles, your core muscles, all of your core, not just your abs, to come all the way down. If you feel like your back is going to flop on the mat, then bring your forearms down to prevent that. You want to come down gently, 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 gently. Use those core muscles to bring yourself down. All right, then once you get there, bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Lift your hips just a little and bring them towards your heels. That's just to lengthen your spine. Okay, good. Bring your knees into your chest and hug them. And roll a little from side to side, just a little bit. You don't want to go all the way over onto your side, just a little bit to massage your basic, mostly your lower back, right? And then come to center. Take hold of your right knee, interlace your fingers around it. Send your left leg straight out along the mat. And you're going to lift it about an inch or so from the mat, allowing it just to hover above the mat. You're going to inhale and then exhale, lift your leg up to the sky. Inhale, send it back down, hovering. Don't touch the mat, just let it hover. Exhale. Inhale your leg down. Exhale. Bring your knee into your chest, change holding of the other knee, and lift your right leg to the sky. Inhale your leg to the mat, just hovering over it. Exhale it up to the sky. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, send your leg down. Hover. Exhale, bring it back. Bend both knees into your chest again. Send your legs up to the ceiling, and then open them nice and wide as you can comfortably open them, right? Send your arms overhead behind you. Inhale, and on an exhale, you're going to lift your shoulders. Your nose is moving toward in between your legs. Your palms are facing each other. Your arms are inside your legs, like you're reaching for something on the wall opposite you. Inhale back down to the mat. Take hold of your legs. You can, whatever you can reach, the thighs, the calf, the ankle, whatever you can reach. And just roll from side to side with these wide open legs. Just roll. Then come back to center, close your legs, bring them together and open them. Close them and opening. We're opening up our hip sockets, our hip joint, and keep that going. You're opening and closing your legs. And then you're going to bring them back together. Bring your knees into your chest, hug your knees. And roll a little bit from side to side, come back to center. So we talked about transformation. So these next two poses are poses of transformation, of change. So you're going to, on an exhale, lift your head, bringing your nose toward your knees. They may not reach. Your shoulders coming off the mat. They might come up just a little bit or a lot. And bring it back down. Inhale and then exhale. Lift your shoulders, hug your knees, lift your head. You are creating a little cocoon, a little butterfly cocoon. Bring your head and shoulders back down to the mat. Release your right leg and begin to lengthen your right leg. And reach for your ankle, your calf, your foot, whatever is comfortable, or whatever is within reach, anywhere along your leg. And allow it to open up out to the side. Our first butterfly wing. But the butterfly can't open both at the same time. It has to be the right moment. So that butterfly can't fly yet. So you'll need to lengthen your left leg, take your toes, take your ankles, take your shins, your calves, whatever you can reach. And open up both your wings. And then you're going to fly away. So you're going to close and open, and continue to fly. And you're really waking up your hip joints now. And then bring both legs straight up. Bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet to the mat. And you're going to take a couple of breaths here. Okay. Right. So you're going to shift your hips, send your knees to one side or the other. Bring your hand down to the mat, push in, and make your way up to sit. And we're going to sit for just a bit so that I can explain to you what's coming next. So, you know, all of you created this class. This is your class because I asked you what you wanted. So our first request was to do anything on our back, and we just did. We'll do some more on our back later. And so our next requests are coming for poses to weave into this practice. So I just wanted to share that with you all so that you know that you are the creators of this class. So we're going to come up to stand. Okay. And first we come to our mountain, Tadasana. In Tadasana, our feet are pushing into the mat, crown of our head reaching for the heavens. So our feet rooted in the earth is the metaphor, crown of our head to the sky. Send your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Let your arms fall comfortably by your side. This is a natural, let your arms fall naturally. This is your mountain. Make sure your chin is level with the earth. Your head is over your heart. Your shoulders over your hips over your ankles. The perfect, majestic mountain. We're going to inhale, gather all the energy around us. Exhale, bring that down to our hearts. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Bring that energy down. Little sun breaths. Okay. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. All right. So we're going to do some half sun salutations. We'll do whole ones too, but a half sun salutation, that was a popular on our list. So come to the top of your mat. Well, I don't have to, because in a half sun salutation, you don't really go anywhere. You stay in place. So let me come back here. All right. So inhale, open up your arms to the side, bring them overhead, look up at your prayer. Exhale, fly out over your legs, bend your knees slightly. Exhale. Inhale, come halfway up to a flat back, bring your hands to your shins or your thighs, or stream them alongside your hips. The idea in a flat back is to have a flat back. So the crown of your head going one way, your sits bones going the other way, a beautiful platform. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, fly out and up, and bring that energy down to your heart. We're going to do that twice more. I'll talk you through it. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, fold over your legs, bend your knees slightly or a lot. Inhale, halfway up to a flat back. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, fly out and up and down the center line. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, fly out and up and down the center line. All right. So remember also, when we do a flow like we just did, we did, that was a half sun salutation, Adho Surya Namaskara. And it is not required for you to go at my pace. You might want to go a little bit more slowly. That's okay. I will wait for you. I can see when you're all settled. Okay. So now we're going to do, at your request, a longer warrior-driven sun salutation. So here we go. Inhale, gather. Exhale, fly over your legs. Inhale, come halfway up to a flat back. Exhale, bend your knees deeply. Send your right leg all the way back behind you for a low lunge. In a low lunge, you're on the ball of your back foot. If you had blocks, you could use blocks to help you. Make your arms a little longer. You want your knee to be over your ankle or in front of it, never past it, so that you have a right angle with your front leg, all 10 toes pointing forward. A low lunge. You're going to step your back foot up so that the sole of your foot is flat on the mat. And you'll notice when you do that, your foot is at a slight angle, and that's good. You want it to be. So step on that back foot. Now, the legend of a warrior one is that Lord Shiva threw a lock of his hair and oils from his body down to the earth to raise the warrior from the earth. Send your arms streaming alongside your hips. Push your feet into the mat to help with your balance. Swing your arms all the way up to come up to warrior one, up from the earth. This is your warrior one, arms alongside your ears. You can make your warrior longer, back foot away, farther away from the front. You want to square your shoulders with the front edge of your mat. Your hips will come with you. A little, not the whole way because of the angle of your back leg. Arms up overhead, every warrior, and we need to awaken our warriors, right, for this new year. So every warrior says a prayer before battle, a prayer overhead. You can continue to look forward. Remember that in balancing poses, you need to find a drishti, a focal point opposite you that you can set your eyes on to help with your balance. However, if you'd like to be a little bit more daring here, you can look up at your prayer, bring it down to your heart. Send your arms back behind you. Interlace your fingers. This is called Yoga Mudra, the interlaced fingers. Send your knuckles down to the mat. Your heart will open up. Brave heart. All warriors need a wide open, brave heart. Inhale. And then exhale. Remember, pushing your feet into your mat is what helps you with your balance, right? Inhale, exhale. You're going to come halfway. Your torso parallel with your thigh and the mat. This is humble, devotional warrior. You can stay right here and come right back up, or you can go a little deeper. Inhale and then exhale, come inside your left leg. Send your knuckles straight back behind you, crown of your head to the mat, knuckles to the sky. Push in to the mat with your feet to bring you back up for warrior one. You're going to lift your arms up alongside your ears. You're going to inhale and exhale and come forward. bringing your hands inside your left leg. Maybe you're just on your fingertips. You're going to step your back foot so that the arch of your back foot is in line with the heel of your front foot. Take your time to get there. You're going to put your left hand on your left thigh. Remember your feet pushing into the ground. You're going to use your right hand to windmill up into warrior two. All right. So in warrior two, we have another dynamic going on with our leg in the back at a slight angle. And you want to make sure your knee and your toes are going the same way. Your arms are straight out from your shoulders. Your knee is either, your front knee is either over your ankle or a little before it, never past it. You're in a weight-bearing pose. You do not want to put pressure on your knees. You want to make sure that your left thigh does not collapse in. You want to keep that knee in line with your middle toes. Don't allow it to collapse. Keep it long and straight. All right. So we're going to do a little flow here within a flow, a little dancing warrior two. So warrior two is a wonderful pose. Oh, I forgot to mention, your shoulders need to be square with the long edge of your mat or with any edge of your mat, whatever is there, right? So your heart is open. You're looking over your left fingers. You're sizing up your challenge, coming up with your strategy. But now our warrior is going to do a little wavy dance, all right? First, he brings his right arm to his right thigh and lifts his left hand into a sign of peace for peaceful warrior. Inhale and then exhale, bring your forearm on to your thigh. Or not, you can stay right where you were. Bring your right arm and you can just stay here or bring your right arm alongside your right ear. And then we're going to move back. You're going to straighten your left leg and send your left arm up back behind you. Inhale, exhale, bend your knee, bring your forearm on your thigh, bring your right arm alongside your ear, straighten your leg. Let's go back and forth like we're blowing in the wind. Feel these stretchy moves. These moves release endorphins in your body, the cuddle hormone. Yeah. The social hormone. Bring your hand back down, your forearm back down to your thigh. Right arm up alongside, reaches back behind you, sorry. And then you're going to windmill your arm all the way back down to the mat. Step on the ball of your right foot to come into a low lunge. Place both hands down on the mat. Step your left foot back for downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, you're in an upside down V shape. Your heels are coming towards the mat, but they will not touch it. Your chest is coming towards your thighs. Your hands are pushing the mat away from you. Lift your right leg all the way up to the sky or as far. It may only go a couple of inches, or maybe it will go all the way up. If you have had enough by now, you can bring your knees to the mat and come to a child's pose. At any time, you'll come to a child's pose when you need to stop. Send your right leg back up, open up your hip, and you do that by sending your knee up to the sky, your right heel toward your left buttock. I know it sounds a little weird, but it's, yeah, opening up your hip. And then square it back with the mat. And here we go into our pigeon pose. So in pigeon, we're going to take that bent knee. We're going to send our hips and our knee forward. We're going to place our right knee outside and behind our right wrist, our right toes coming toward our left wrist. And you slide your left leg behind you. All right, for some of you, you might want to just come to a child's pose and another down dog. All right. All right, so I suggest that if you don't have a nice long spine, if both your hips do not, you don't want to skew your back here, your lumbar spine right now. What we want to make sure is that we're even. So you can put padding underneath your right hip. A block or a blanket works, or a pillow, you know, so that your spine is even. All right. And then you're going to come down onto your forearms. Take a breath and relax over your legs, bringing your head, your forearms down to the mat. Some of you may not be able to get there, all right? So what you'll do, so everybody stay in your reclining pigeon, but others, you may just want to roll onto your right hip and swing your left leg behind and come to Sukhasana, a seated pose. Bring your head to the mat. Your long pigeon tail, that's your left leg back behind you. Slide your hands under your shoulders. So you might want to, so we had our sleeping pigeon, and it's a new year, so our pigeon needs to be wide awake. So maybe you will open your right arm, bring your thumb and index finger together to hail in that new year. If you'd like to go a little deeper, bring both hands to the mat, bend your left leg, reach for your left foot, and then open up your arm. Or not. Any of these poses are or not. Okay. All right. So turn under your left toes, coming onto the ball of your left foot. Lift your knee away from the mat so that you can slide your right leg out from under you, come back into down dog or to a three-legged dog with your leg up in the air just like you started. And then bring your foot back down to the mat. Okay. Step your right leg forward, and when you do that, okay, so you might want to watch me here. You can do 1, 2, take your hand with your ankle, 3, to get your foot up. Step your left leg back, fold over, Uttanasana. Fold over. Fly out and up. And down the center line. Okay, just remember, that was your flow. Okay. How's everybody doing? Okay, good. Good. We have another side to do. Right. Inhale. exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway, exhale, fold. Left leg goes back. Come into alignment with your low lunge. Then step your left foot flat on the mat. Stream your arms alongside your hips to bring our brave warrior up from the earth. Warrior one. Prayer before battle. Look up at the prayer or not. Inhale, exhale, swing your arms back behind you, Yoga Mudra. Send your knuckles down to the earth. Open up your heart. Inhale, exhale, come down halfway, flat back. Stay here, or inhale, exhale, come inside your leg, crown of your head reaching up, knuckles reaching down, knuckles reaching up, crown of your head reaching to the mat. Push your feet into the mat. Let your knuckles lead you back up. Bring your arms up overhead. Inhale, exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Step your back foot into warrior two, and that means the arch of your back foot and the heel of your front foot are in alignment, or it could be heel to heel, but heel to arch gives you better balance, I believe. All right. Right hand to right thigh, windmill up to warrior two. Remember to square those shoulders, brave warrior. Look over your right fingers this time. If you have the range, open your legs farther apart from each other for a more fierce warrior. Right. Peaceful warrior. Forearm to thigh, left arm alongside left ear for a contemplative warrior. Inhale, straighten your leg. Exhale. Let's begin the flow. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Bring your hands down onto your thigh. Swing your right arm back down, windmilling back down. Place both your hands on the mat. Swivel your back foot so that you're on the ball of your back foot. Step your right leg back. Downward facing dog. Lift your left leg all the way up as far as it can go. It may be a few inches. It may be a few feet. Bend your knee. Send your foot to your right buttock to open up your hips. Square your pelvis with the mat. Your knee is still bent. This time, your left knee and your hips move forward. Your left knee lands behind and outside your left wrist. And you're going to slide your right leg back behind you. Remember to pad your left hip if your spine is not straight. Eventually, you'll be able to come all the way down, but do not let your spine get you all, twisty. All right, bring your forearms down. and come all the way down into your sleeping pigeon as far as you can comfortably come. And remember, these are poses are not for everybody. So you will maybe be in child's pose from down dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Hands under your shoulders. Yogi's choice, you can send your left arm up. Wing, that's a pigeon, that must be a wing. Or you can go a little deeper by bending your right leg and reaching for your right foot. You can lift your right arm or not. Release your foot. Turn under your toes on the ball of your foot. You're going to lift your left knee, slide it back straight to down dog or to a three-legged dog with your leg up to the sky. Then bring it down. Take a few breaths. Step your left foot forward in as many steps as you need. Step your right foot forward to meet your left. Hang over in Uttanasana. Forward fold. Fly out and up and down the center line. Okay. Whoa. All right. So there's one more request that we had. So we're going to do that down on our mat. So take your time. And I want to tell you a little bit about it first. And I want you to think about having a blanket because it's really important in this pose. But we're going to do two variations for it. It's Salamba Sarvangasana, which means supported shoulder stand. Okay, so in shoulder stand, there are going to be two ways you can do that. And a shoulder stand is a great way to end a class because it is a very cooling pose. Allows all the excess fluids to drain from your legs. It slows your heartbeat down. It improves blood flow. So, two ways to do it. So please watch me first. So you're going to come back down onto your mat, but please look at me first. Now, the first one you all know pretty well. You might want a block or a pillow. You're going to come down all the way on your back. You're going to push your feet into the mat, slide the block underneath your sacrum, just below your waist, or a pillow. If you do not have a block, a pillow, or you can use a blanket. Right. So the blanket, again, it's the same thing. You want it to be below your waist. You send one leg up to the sky and the other leg up to the sky. You send your arms back behind you on the mat. This is a variation of a supported shoulder stand. All right. Now, in shoulder stand, right? So watch me again. You can go right into your inversion if you like. So the reason we put a blanket, usually there's 2 or 3 Iyengar, BKS Iyengar, who actually brought props into the practice, uses 3 of them. So we're going to do it with 1. And there's a reason for that, and I'll show you. You bring your shoulders up just below the edge of your mat so that the fold of the blanket is under your neck. And the reason for this is that you're going to lift your whole body up to the sky, which means you're going to close off your airways. With your head tilted back, you prevent that. You are able to breathe better, right? Okay. So here we go. Now, we're going to start with Halasana, the plow pose, because I find it much easier to come into shoulder stand from that pose. So you can, any of you can, again, you can just watch this, or you can, and you learn from watching, or you can go halfway, and that would be Halasana. You can just use your hands that are on the mat alongside your body, push into it, and just lift your hips a little and bring them back down. Just lift your hips a little and bring them back down. Or you can lift them a lot and send them all the way back behind you. Now, you can have something prepare when you do this in the future. Prepare to have something behind you, pillows or stuff, so that your feet can land on them. So as you practice this, you don't have to have your toes all the way down to the mat, right? This is all important. So you think, oh my God, that's impossible. I can never do that, but you can if you have something to land on, right? So we didn't have time to put props together, but I want you to show you this because we may be able to do that another time. So I'm going to come into my Halasana, plow pose. I think I'm going to tuck my shirt in first, so you don't have to be subjected. All right, so coming down to Halasana. Now in a shoulder stand, you do not want your elbows out here. Your upper arms are the strongest part of your body. You want to use it for support, so they should be close to your torso, because you're going to lift your body onto your hands. You don't want them out here. You want your arms underneath you. You want your hands touching your back. It's hard to talk like this. Your hands, your lower back, your fingers pointing up. You don't want to hold on to your hips. You're not helping yourself by holding your hips. You're causing pressure on your sacrum and lumbar spine when you do that. So you want your fingers reaching up, then you send one leg up and the other leg up. And hence, there is your shoulder stand. And you can play in your shoulder stand, and you can do this in the inversion, the other inversion that we did earlier, right? You can do stuff with your legs. All right. Got it? All right, so I'm gonna kind of watch you while you do this. So once again, one of the things you can simply do is put something underneath your hips, legs up to the ceiling. So Frank and Linda, that's what you should be doing. Eric, you might want to do that for this first class. Everybody else, it's up to you. I see feet. I think those are Melanie's feet. I don't have my glasses on. I have to see who it is. Yep. All right. Great. I love it. All right. Beautiful. Very nice. Very impressive, everyone. Right. So you're going to take about 5 more breaths in this inversion. And then you're going to bring your legs back down to the mat. And you're going to come into Shavasana. So in Shavasana, your legs are straight out. You're on your back. Your legs are relaxed, splayed open. Your arms are alongside your body. They are rotated so that the palm of your hand reaches the ceiling, faces the ceiling, the sky. Sky is a better image, right? Feel your whole back body giving into gravity. Once you get there, feel your body letting go. Om Namah Shivaya. I surrender to transformation and welcome the changes that will lead me to who I am. Shavasana is a time to assimilate all of the energy that you generate, give your joints and muscles a chance to reset, and allow you to come into total relaxation. Deepen your breath, send your arms back behind you. Send your feet away from you for a final deep body stretch. Bring your knees into your chest, hug them, and roll from side to side. Release your knees, roll over onto your left side to come into a fetal position. Getting us ready for the day ahead, the month ahead, the year ahead. And when you're ready, come up to sit. So I'm going to ask you all to bear with me And I'm going to ask you to please stand, come up to stand. If you wouldn't mind, please. Just, the transition takes time and all. Okay, so there's one pose that I forgot that was a request of our yogis. And I love this, so how could I forget it? So come to your mountain. Come on the ball of your right foot, shifting the weight to your left. Open your right leg out to the side. You can leave your right heel against your ankle and bring your arms all the way up to grow your tree. Maybe you'll lift your foot so that the arch of your right foot comes to the calf of your left. And don't forget that dristi on the opposite wall. And then play with your tree a little bit. Blow in the wind with your leaves, your branches. And then bring it down. Other side. Again, leave your heel to your ankle. Beautiful, beautiful tree. Or lift your leg any amount. Whoops, just don't. One thing you should not ever do is put your foot on your knee. You want it either on your calf or on your thigh, right? And let it go. And just breathe. Just take a breath. I want to thank everyone for creating this class, for bringing your spirit into this class. And let's come to sit in a chair or back down on your mat to get ready for our meditation on transformation. Your hands fall comfortably on your thighs, crown of your head reaching upward. Close your eyes. Come inside and focus on your breath. Don't change it, just follow it. See the journey of your natural breath. Remember that if thoughts come to mind, and they will, that's okay. Acknowledge them, tell them later, and come back to your breath. Come back to the image that you may have in your mind's eye. And take a deep breath. And find yourself walking in a wooded area. And you'll look around you and notice what time of day it is, how the sun might be streaking through the trees, if the trees are bare or they are filled with life. And then as you journey, as you're noticing the smooth bark of one tree, the rough, cavernous bark of another, you notice something hanging from a branch and you wonder what it is. And you walk up to it to examine it. And you see that it's a cocoon. And as you look closer, you are amazed at the intricate work that that little fuzzy caterpillar who could barely walk an inch could create this amazing web, this shroud for itself, its little cocoon, its home for gestation, and wrap it all around. What fortitude it must have taken. What courage to know that it was going to be changing so dramatically, that it had to give up its former way of life, not knowing what was to come. And then as time would go by, you start to see some movement in that cocoon. And it breaks open. And this wing begins to appear, extends outside the cocoon, but the other half of it is still inside. And this butterfly knows that it cannot go any further. It cannot until the time is absolutely right or it will die. It must wait. It must be patient. It must endure just a little bit longer. And then as more time passes by, the other wing emerges. Ah, two beautiful, beautiful multicolored wings. How beautiful. A body now streamlined and aerodynamic. What a transformation. And this beautiful new creature tries to fly, but it cannot just yet, even though it tries to flap its wings. Because its delicate legs are still connected to the cocoon, to the cocoon. And then as the cocoon folds away, it now can flap its wings and fly away. And it flies into the sunlight and feels the warmth of the sun. It continues to fly and finds a beautiful, colorful flower inviting it. And it lands upon the flower and takes its first drink of nectar. Ah, how delicious. And as it leaves to go to the next flower, it takes pollen with it and carries it in an act of giving and receiving. and it continues its flight. And follow it as it flies freely. As it feels bliss. And bring your awareness to your heart. Feel the beating of your heart. Hear your heart beating inside. And say these words to yourself. I am brave, courageous. I am patient. I know that I may face more challenges, more heartache, but I also know that that will allow me to reach out to others, to recognize it in others. And to learn together. I give with all my heart, without any expectations. For I am grateful for all that I have, for this community in which I thrive. I am grateful. I can fly. Take a deep breath. Bring your hands to your heart. Bow your head. Feel your heartbeat. And as you lift your head, you will begin to open your eyes. When your head is fully erect, your eyes will be wide open. Thank you so much for this very happy start to a happy new year. Thank you for being with me. Namaste.